gentlemen, my name is Ray, or some of you might know me as Tiki with Ray, and today I am in the North Shore Lagoon with my good buddy Sean, aka the Tiki Tourist, aka Mr. Monster Gogo, and I've actually had you on the Tiki Golf Club. We talked about your mail art, and he actually sends mail art and sends it across the country. Let that nose over here. Just check this. He does stuff like Ghost in the closet, but he's afraid to come out,
Because he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
He doesn't want to admit that he's dead.
And Sean's very talented. He makes this horror art. I have several pieces that I've framed. Sean is into
Toilet of Terror.
He's into like horror, tiki, and everything in between. So we're kindred spirits. And Sean writes a blog called, it's the Tiki Tourist. Is that what the blog is?
Monster
right?
Gogo, the Tiki Tourist.
Monster Gogo, and you will actually you travel and write about home tiki bars and stuff like that. And I was saying to Sean, like, hey, you're very talented. You should write for Exotica Modern. We were talking. I think I already reached out to Ken, so hopefully we got you in. But you came up with a really cool idea, and the name of the series, whether it's going to be for the magazine or for your blog, is it going to be called Tiki Famous? Right?
Tiki Famous.
And how did you come up with this idea?
I was at the taping of your show in Tacoma a couple of months ago, and Laura Miller, who is the wife of Woody Miller, was there, and she was telling about their first date, and Laura said that Woody told her that he kind of admitted that he was kind of Tiki Famous to kind of let her know who he was. And that phrase Tiki Famous kind of rattled around in my brain for a while.
Yeah.
And then I had the opportunity, I ran into Otto von Stroheim and Baby Doe at the Napa Valley Museum where they have their Tiki Dreams exhibit going on.
Yeah.
And it was an off day. No one else was there. And I just happened to run into them. They just happened to be there. And after I left, I thought, I wanted a picture with them, right? So after I left, I thought, they're Tiki Famous.
Yes, they are.
And that phrase popped into my head, and so I was like wondering, what's it like to be Tiki Famous? And so that's where the idea came from.
Yeah, and so you were talking about, like, I guess some people would consider me Tiki Famous. I don't know how.
Tiki with Ray. I told you a long time ago, my blog kind of started because you had a blog.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And it's like, there's some people that know me. I've been doing this. I've been blogging and making YouTube shows since 2016, 2017, and there's some people that know me. And Sean's going to be, it's going to be a question and answer kind of thing. And hopefully it'll be a series where you reach out to other Tiki people, real people that are Tiki Famous. And the interesting thing is the questions aren't going to be like the typical, like, so how did you get into Tiki? It's going to be more about, like, what's it like being into this, where people know you, where you're semi-Tiki famous.
Yeah.
And I figured, like, I've never been interviewed like that, at least not on my own show, and I thought, like, it'd be kind of cool to, like, kind of give people an example of, like, what the questions would be like. And maybe other people, and I'm sure anyone who's out there who's actually Tiki famous, and if you want to have Sean do an interview with you, on paper, do it. And so I figured I'm going to let Sean take over the reins, and he's going to interview me, and I'm going to answer the questions to the best of my ability.
Okay.
All right.
First of all, we know you are Tiki with Ray.
Yeah.
You have the YouTube show, you have your website.
Yes.
You have Tiki Goth Club and other branches of Tiki with Ray.
Yes, I do, yeah.
So what is your reach? How many people do you think know who Tiki with Ray is? I mean, you're in the magazine, you've got subscribers on YouTube, you've got subscribers to your blog. I know who you were years ago.
Well, I can give you my numbers as it stands now. I mean, on Instagram, I think.
Instagram, yeah.
I think I'm around 4,500 on Instagram. On YouTube, I think I have 2,700 subscribers. On my Facebook page, I think there's like 4,000. So I guess around 5,000 people. That I can count, but that's hard to say though.
Okay.
And I think my friend count on Facebook is like 3,500 people. Now, I'm not saying I know them all personally and they know me personally, but I do have that many friends, It's a situation where there's a lot of people that make me know who I am, but I don't know them.
Have you had any strange or unusual encounters with people who recognize you? That you don't know who they are, of course.
Not strange. Nothing uncomfortable. But the only thing that you get is like, where, the interesting thing about doing a YouTube show is, you're literally coming into someone's living room on their TV every week. They see you, they hear you, and then eventually they have. It's a one-way relationship where they know you, they know everything about you, but you don't even know the people at all. So a lot of times, say if I go to like Tiki Con or something like that, people will come up to me, "Hey Ray, how's it going, man?" And it's like, "Hi," and it's like and then it's like, "Oh, I'm a big fan of your show," there's a lot of people that know who I am, but I don't know who they are. And that's why I want to make it. That's why I kind of like to do what I do and get other people involved. That way, I actually know them when I meet them. So it's not awkward. It's just but nothing strange, nothing unusual. If there's anything, there's definitely people out there that are really into like say like one aspect of Tiki, and they want to tell me about it. And you're like, all right, tell me about Tiki masks, or something like that. Okay, it's like okay, right. It's like, man, you're into this more than I am.
When people do approach you like this at like Tiki Con or whatever,
yeah,
it sometimes gets to the point where you're kind of tired of being on for them. So because you things you want to do, and how is that? What is that like? Having to be on for people.
It's not tiring. I mean, it's not tiring, but here's the thing: it's just sort of like, I want to make a good impression. Mm-hmm. And say there is someone who's like been following what I do or watching my YouTube channel for a couple of years, and they do want to meet me, and then I don't want to be a dick to them. I don't want to blow them off. I mean, my rule about anything is I don't blow anybody off. You come up and talk to me, I'm going to talk to you. But like when you go to something like TikiCon, it's just like everywhere you go, hey, Tiki with Ray, hey, how's it going? It can be a little tiring after a while. Not that I'm complaining, but the nice thing it would be sometimes it's kind of cool when I go somewhere where people don't know who I am, because then I could just be,
just be Ray.
I could just, well, it's the same person, but I just want to make a good impression on anyone who meets me.
What is something people don't know or would be surprised to know about you?
I used to be blonde.
Okay. I thought you were going to talk about the straight edge Tiki thing, but okay.
No.
Okay. No, I didn't know that. He used to be blonde.
I used to be blonde. I'm into metal and punk rock. My favorite band is Slayer. I used to be in a hardcore band back in the 90s. I've been in a lot of people, they don't even realize that I play guitar. I play guitar, and like I'm in a Damned and Cramped tribute band.
Really?
Yeah, and actually a Misfits tribute band. I've been in a Danzig tribute band, a Black Flag tribute band, a Minor Threat tribute band, and there's people that know me through Tiki, and then they're like, I didn't know you played guitar. I know you were in a band. It's like, yeah, well, I am actually. I mean, my coming into Tiki is coming at from the mid-century angle. I like all things mid-century, and I always like 50s music, rock and roll and stuff, and anything that was that style. So this is just kind of like an offshoot of it. And a lot of people that are into it are into mid-century stuff. Usually, they all kind of go.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, for a lot of people, like they probably just don't know that like I play guitar or I'm a punk rocker. I mean, as far as like I stopped drinking. I'm going on like 4 months now of being sober, and it's like, but I'm being pretty forward about that. I started the Straight Edge Tiki series, and I want people to know that hey, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing, as opposed to I don't want to create this illusion that like I'm out there still partying it up. So drink for me, and so I think that's pretty transparent.
So you mentioned being blonde. This is my question for you. This is a dumb question. You feel free to edit this out, which I'm sure you will.
No, I won't.
I'm on the wrong. Crap.
It's funny. You're on a website that's like, here's questions that you ask at a job interview.
No.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
So. Regular celebrities are known for extravagant demands and pampering.
Yeah.
Tiki celebrities aren't nearly as bad.
Yeah.
So tell us, who does your hair?
Me.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. When did you first realize that you were quote-unquote Tiki famous? What happened? How did the experience happen for you?
Okay. So I started my blog in February of 2016. And I was blogging twice a week, religiously. If there's anything that I've learned about being a content creator, is that if you want to be successful, it's all about consistency. It's all about putting out good quality content all the time, you know. And I thought, when I started my blog, well, how often should I blog? And I decided, okay, twice a week seems good. So starting in February, I started blogging 2 posts a week, you know. And I'd share them on Facebook and stuff like that. So TikiCon, I went to my first TikiCon, which was July of 2016. So I've been blogging since, you know, February, March, April, May, June, about 5 months. And I go to TikiCon, and I'm just kind of, you know, walking around doing my thing. And there were a couple different people who came up to me. Hey, Tiki with Ray, how you doing? You know, it's like, oh, hi, how's it going? I love your blog. Cool, you know. So that was the beginning of it. But like that first time, you know, then maybe I could probably count on like one hand, you know, how many people that did that, you know. A year later, 2017, now I've still been blogging 2 blog posts. Like, I think as it stands, I think like I have over 400 blog posts. Because I never stopped. And then with the Tiki videos, I'm several hundred videos. So there's a lot of me out there. TikiCon 2017. Now instead of like 5 people, there's like it's almost to a point where like everyone just knows who I am. It's like a given. It's like everyone just knows me.
That's super awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
And here's the cool thing I love though is like what I like to do is I visit a lot of home tiki bars, and what I love about that is that we'll go. I'd have a photographer come. They take pictures. I usually send the interview questions in advance, and then so like that's already done. It's more about going to get the pictures and just meet the people. And what I love is you get this I have this unique situation where it'll just be me and the owner or the owners of the bar, and maybe my photographer, just hanging out, drinking and talking. And then the conversation definitely goes deeper than just like tiki. And then by the time that it's done, it's like, oh, now we're friends. Or I had people on my show, and they just become friends with them. Yeah, there you go. So I like that. I have if there's anything that I love about my situation is I have a connection to a lot of people that are into like what I do.
Being Tiki Famous, how, if at all, has it changed your life?
Oh man. Oh my God. Starting Tiki with Ray completely changed my life.
Really?
It completely changed my life. I mean, I've been into Tiki. I've been into Tiki since I think, 2007. And I used to go to Tiki bars by myself or with my girlfriend at the time or whoever, And when I started blogging, now it's like I have people that know me. As I said, like I go visit home tiki bars, now I'm friends with these people, now I'm friends with those people. And I'm friends with, and I'm friends with like a lot of people now, like all over the country. I tell someone, hey, I'm going to be coming into your city, and then like people will be like, all right, I'm putting on a tiki party at my bar. Come on over when you come in, and then be like, I come into town, people throw parties for me, like literally. What I think I love the most is like I have people's respect. I've become one of those people where like they'll listen to my opinion about something. Say I go to a tiki bar, and it's new. What's it like? Is it worth going to? Well, let me tell you. How are the drinks there? Well, let me tell you. People have if there's like say for example now with the straight edge tiki stuff, I'm trying like all these like alternatives. Well, what's it taste like? And I tell people that. So, and that being said, because like I'm on camera, you're kind of public, so you gotta really. I mean, I definitely have to watch what I say a little bit more than say like the normal person. I don't have a problem with that though, but You know, it's like even like when I started doing the straight edge tiki thing, like I can't, you know, I kind of laid it out, like the reason why I stopped drinking, you know, was because of, like, health reasons, stuff like that. And, you know, and there was a lot of people like, oh man, that was really brave of you, you know, that was a big thing. And to me, it's like, when you get to a certain point of being somewhat famous, you kind of owe it to the people that are watching you. Like, you got to give them a little bit more of yourself, you know. So there's a lot of people that know a lot more about me than, say, like, other people. Yeah. And some people wouldn't like that, you know. Some people want the privacy. They want, you know, or maybe they have a persona, you know, that they are when they're on camera than they are off camera. And that's fine. But me, I like to think that, like, the person that you see on camera is the same person as me.
I think you are the same person.
Yeah. And I don't have a problem sharing, you know, personal stuff. A lot of people would, but I don't, because, you know, like, even like with the no drinking thing, it's like, if there's other people that get inspired, or they're on the point of, like, maybe I should stop, or maybe I should cut down, and if I can be a good inspiration or a good influence, awesome.
Have you been treated any differently now that you're famous?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's been a lot of times where I would, like, go to like a regular tiki bar, and I'll walk in, and then people know who I am, and then I
apologize for
right.
Making a noise.
And I've drank for free a lot. People always ask me, they're like, well, do you get paid for doing this? And I always like to say, it's like, well, I don't get paid, but I get compensated. A lot of free drinks. I get a lot of gifts. Tiki, you know, people send me tiki mugs, or I'll go to a bar and they'll give me a tiki mug or a shirt or whatever. I've had people that I've done blog write-ups on that were artists that then actually sent me some of their art as like a thank you. So, yeah, let's just say this, I haven't paid for a tiki mug in a long time.
So have you had anybody outside of the tiki community, or that you're aware of outside of the tiki community, who recognized you as being Tiki with Ray? Like someone you wouldn't suspect. Like, I don't know, if you ran into Robert De Niro, I'm just making that, I don't know. But, you know, someone like that, like, you're a Tiki person? You know who you were?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet, but if you want to talk about like any kind of goal I'd want to have, is to, like, meet someone who's into Tiki that is famous. You know, like maybe like an actor or a musician and something like that, and be like, that would make my day. Like, for example, like the drummer from Goth is into Tiki. You know that band Goth, where they all dress up and stuff like that, and it's like, well, I've seen Goth. You know, I've gone to a couple of their shows, came on Bloody, and that would be like a big deal for me to, like, meet the drummer of that band. Like, oh, you're into Tiki. That's the thing that I find interesting, is there is actually people out there that are rich and famous that are into this stuff, and it would be cool to meet them.
What does being Tiki famous mean to you?
What does it mean to me? Well, just kind of like everything that I was saying before. It's this acknowledgement that there's a lot of people out there that know who you are, but you don't know them.
Okay.
And then to have that, not to quote Spider-Man, Spider-Man's uncle, or whatever. You know, with great power comes great responsibility. Well, if you're famous, where people know you, then it really does kind of matter what you say and how you present yourself. And if there's anything that I've liked to improve in my life, is that like I'm really starting to think, like, as I've gotten older, and even like doing this whole Tiki with Ray thing, that like communication skills are like probably like one of the most important things a person can have. And, you know, and being able to communicate with people, knowing how to talk to people, what not to say. And I always thought about this, and then it's telling that it's like I've been invited to like so many home Tiki bars.
That is awesome.
Yeah, but here's the thing. But say like I went to like I've gone to people's home Tiki bars, and say I was rude or pompous or a drunk or worse, creepy. that would get around really, really fast. So yeah, this Tiki with Ray wants to come visit my home tiki bar. I was like, oh no, don't have him. He's a creeper. You don't want that. So if there's anything that you're getting back to, like, even like what's changed about my life is like it improved my communication skills, my person-to-person skills. And if there's anything that I cherish the most, more than like say writing, is this, the community, to talk to people, to be able to do it. I get a lot of compliments saying that, like, when I interview someone, I make them feel comfortable, and that means a lot to me.
Okay, so we'll wrap this up.
Okay.
This is our last question. Is there anybody in the Tiki community, I think you may have already said this, maybe this is a bad question, but is there anybody in the Tiki community that you would be all fanboy, oh my God, it's you, if you got to meet him or her?
Yeah, meeting Shag.
Shag.
Yeah, I think out of anyone, it would be a big deal to meet Shag. Because just like you were saying before, he goes beyond Tiki. And his art has like gone into like so many other different things. And how I want to do is I'd love to meet Shag, and then I'd want to tell him, hey Shag, my name's Ray. I have a Tiki show on YouTube called Tiki with Ray, but I also have a series dedicated to you called Shag with Ray.
And you do.
If you haven't watched it, check it out. And that would be, and if like he actually like watched an episode and said, commented like one way or another, like, great job, I'd be like, all right. Want to support the Tiki with Ray show and look cool doing it at the same time? Then head over to tikiwithray.com and buy yourself a Tiki with Ray shirt. They're only $20. Tony Canapa did the design, and they're screen printed in America.